Hi, my name is Marissa Hoyter, and I'm currently a sophomore at SUNY New Paltz, and I am applying to study abroad my spring semester, this upcoming spring, at Kingston University, which is in London, England. And I decided to focus on a social issue for my global scholarship application. I actually ran across this issue while I was doing my own personal research about Kingston, and I decided to focus on students with disabilities, in universities and in college settings, because I myself have a disability. I have ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, and I just was curious about what kind of accommodations kids with disabilities receive there, especially students, and how that plays out into the college setting. So I decided to do a little bit of research into it before I even knew I had to do this. And first thing I looked at was the Kingston University website, and they have a whole section on the disabled students' allowances. And I was very curious about what that meant by allowance, because we don't have a counterpart really here in America. So I decided to actually focus on that for this. So the disabled student's allowance is something that a student has to apply for, prove that they have a disability through need and through, you have to get a diagnostic test. And I found this through gov.uk, and it was the Disabled Students Allowances scholarshipdb.net. Which is a part of the UK website, the gov.uk website. And I found out some interesting facts about this disabled students allowance. You have to apply for it, and it's capped actually at £5,212 per course, and that is the absolute maximum that a student can receive. And the website even says students tend to get less than that. So if your services and your accommodations that you require are more than this cap, or more than that you receive through your application, then you will have to pay for that out of pocket, which was something that was very different to me, because here we are just granted our services as long as we prove we need them. It's up to the college and university to pay for the full cost, not the student. I also did some research into what workers with disabilities then would get paid, possibly outside of the once they graduate from college and university. And I found through the www.payscale website that the average pay scale for workers with disabilities is £23,000. But according to the mirror.co.uk, which is a newspaper, it's workers without disabilities get paid £26,500 on average. So that's £3,500 more than their disabled counterparts. So not only because of this cap that these disabled students might not be able to get all of the accommodations that they need without incurring cost and debt to themselves, they will on average be paid significantly less than their non-disabled counterparts. And the kind of things that the disabled student allowance pays for is equipment, non-medical help like aids, transportation costs. So a student, in a wheelchair might have to take a separate bus or a special bus that's wheelchair accessible instead of public transportation to the college. So that's one of the things it could cover. However, if these exceed it, like if a blind student needs Braille textbooks and a reader and possibly an aide to help them around, then they could have to be forced to pay for that out of pocket or by taking out loans. And since disabled students have incurred will more likely incur more student loan debt, then they're automatically at a larger disadvantage. And since they have to pay for these services, it's related to their college classes. They're already playing on an uneven playing field, and then they'll be paid on average less upon graduation. And I feel that this is such a disparity in social inequality, but it's not an issue that seems to be at the forefront of anyone's mind, and I find that interesting. which is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it and why I researched it so much, because I found it hard to believe that no one is, or not that many people, are up in arms about it. I believe that disabled workers can be an extreme asset to any economy, and that by giving them these huge disadvantages in college and after, it can create a strain on the economy and on a nation in general. So, I obviously am very passionate about this, and I thought that it was actually a really great experience researching this and learning about this, not just for my own personal use, but just that way now I have more knowledge about the country and what's going to happen when I'm there. Thank you. Bye.